Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Klarohay Ta, a Mega Cebu Candidates Forum 2019 for senatorial votes. Now, let's all welcome today's host, Mega Cebu advocate Miss Caroline Ballesteros, and host of My Politics, aired on MyTV Cebu, and radio commentator of PYLA, Mr. Art Barrett.
Hello, may hapon. How are you? Bago ra nag-bell, no? Murag ang uban mga students are just about to come in. But anyway, may hapon, Sir Art. This is our second episode sa ato ang Klarohay Ta.
Okay.
Mega Cebu Klarohay Ta, Mega Cebu Candidates Forum 2019.
Great.
Yes. Nakakita ba mo sa first last Monday? Wala. You were not here last Monday. So this is a new batch of students. Anyway, we had a very interesting discussion last Monday. We had 4 senatorial balls also, Sir Art. And actually, the entire month of March is dedicated to featuring the senators so that the people in Cebu, those who are watching, will have an idea of who these people are para they can vote wisely.
Okay.
Yes.
So we have allotted candidates for senators for the whole month of March.
Yes.
And another for the whole month of
April will be the
local candidates.
Yes. We would like to thank the organizers. Actually, for those who have been following Mega Cebu since 2011, this is our 3rd Candidates Forum.
I see.
We had one in 2013, and then another one in 2016, and then now again.
And now,
Yes.
2019.
Yes. Our intention really is to inform the people who need to vote who the candidates are, because the future of the country is in your hands.
Okay.
If you
And what
vote
are
for
the platforms?
Yes.
Will be included also in the discussion and presentation of our candidates for today.
Yeah. If you don't vote for the right person, kita na po yung mag-antos, di ba? Okay, Ramo? Pero pa may nakapaniud to na mo? Okay. All right. So anyway, if you notice, if you were watching closely, even the invocation and even the pambansang awit, you saw people doing this. Okay? Sweet to kani, Sir Art?
Yeah. The wave?
This is what
No.
you call the Mega Cebu making waves. Okay?
Okay.
Not that gibagyo na ta, okay? But when we say making waves, the waves is actually the vision of Mega Cebu.
Yes.
And it stands for, we would like a Mega Cebu that's wholesome, advanced, vibrant, equitable, and sustainable.
Okay.
Yes.
That's great. Huh? And if you know the principle of this program on WAVE, so dako kayong ikalipay na to nga dako tag mahimo, no? As a student, ang atong participation sa ato ang syudad.
Yes, and if you will allow me, Sir Art, I'd like to just, because we're talking of waves, og naay wave, og nagsakay ka og ganang bangka, all the fishermen, they need this. Unsa ni siya? Bugsay, okay.
Bugsay.
Yes. Actually, the symbol, if you will look at our logo, Mega Cebu making waves, okay? And then there are signatures there already, Sir Art, because the first 4 senators who were here last Monday, they signed this. This is going to be their commitment. If they agree with the vision, they share in the vision of Mega Cebu, they will have to affix their signatures here. And nganong bugsay man, okay? Actually, this is the, like again I said, this is the symbol of Mega Cebu. If every Cebuano, if every human being for that matter, will get on the boat and do his share towards the vision, same vision, you paddle together in the same direction. Di pud kay nagbugsay ka, puro pikas pud nga direksyon, duwa gyud mo maabtan, no? You just like dragon boat, no? You bugsay together in the same direction, you will go to where you're heading faster and better.
If they fail to live up their commitment, pwede na to unsa man. Ipadon no, ihapak sa ilang lubot. The bugsay.
Okay, so that's the meaning of the bugsay, okay? So we will just put that there display. It's actually a symbol of commitment. All right, so before we proceed, we would like to call on the election officer 4, assigned in the office of the provincial election supervisor, Attorney Ferdinand Guhilde, for his welcome remarks.
Good afternoon, everyone. The candidates are here. Thank you for coming. The organizers, the stakeholders, and also the Carolinian community, welcome to this undertaking. And we are happy to note that a lot of people have shown interest in this particular activity because this is actually intended to raise the bar of public debate and discourse in so far as elections is concerned. No? And we'd like to inform you also that this particular forum is non-partisan and multi-sectoral. No? So when we say non-partisan, it means that wala tayo gidapigan. Okay? We are impartial. We are neutral, especially that the COMELEC is also one of the organizers here. So we just want to give equal opportunities to the candidates to be here and have the chance to interact with the students, especially in the University of San Carlos. And also to prove that we are non-partisan, we have actually sent out invitations to all senatorial candidates, all 62 of them. So nobody can say that they were not invited, that we had this preferential option for the others. Everybody was invited to be here. And for now, I think we have at least 4 senatorial candidates to be with us this afternoon. Okay? And so the other reason why we are here today is, of course, number one, voters' education. And we started with how you're going to interact with the VCM or the vote counting machine. And also, we want this to be an experience for the voters even prior to the elections. And again, as I said earlier, the other purpose for this particular undertaking is to raise the bar of public debate and discourse in the elections. Because, you know, especially now that it has been noted that for the past elections, the ticket towards entry to the Senate is now name recall, regardless of the reasons why your name is remembered by the voter at the moment he or she accomplishes the ballot on election day. So we hope that we can go beyond name recall and go into other considerations, especially those factors that involve track record, platform of government of these candidates. And I think we are in the right place because we are in the University of San Carlos. I am also a product of this university, and I've been teaching here for the past 6 years in the College of Law. And to the candidates, I can tell you that if you look for intelligent, critical-minded voters, you are in the right place. So I hope that we can give our students today a breakthrough insofar platform of government is concerned, a difference insofar as giving them the option on who to choose on the 2019 elections. So having said that, daghang salamat ug maayong hapon kaninyong tanan.
Thank you very much. That was Attorney Ferdinand Gohilde from COMELEC.
Okay, Ma'am Carol, the next part of our program is the forum mechanics and guidelines of our candidates. And this will be explained to us by Mr. Regine Tan Luckyball, a faculty member, Department of Political Science, School of Law, and Governance of the University of San Carlos. Please welcome Mr. Luckyball.
Good afternoon, everyone. So the following are the ground rules and mechanics for this afternoon's Candidates Forum. So this forum shall provide a platform for both the candidates and the voters to engage amongst themselves with the purpose of allowing the voters to discern for their choice in this coming midterms election. Candidates must address the question, what can you offer to Cebu province in general? And what can you offer to Metro Cebu in particular? Campaign videos and banners will not be allowed in this forum. Only a 5-slide PowerPoint presentation is allowed, and only if aligned or connected to the candidate's message or part of his or her answer during the opening and the facilitated discussion. All candidates should strictly abide with our time allocation. So for the opening and closing remarks, you are only allowed at most 3 minutes per candidate. The host will provide you cue regarding your time allocation during the facilitated discussion and the interaction time we have with the audience. An electronic timer will help guide you as you move along for your time allocation. No candidate is tolerated to use any foul language in both speech and responses. Candidates are instructed to engage with each other with respect and dignity. Speakers are not allowed to throw insults and insinuations. For the supporters, you are restrained from openly campaigning, especially anywhere in the campus for the purposes of campaigning. You're not allowed to loiter. For our audience and participants, let us all be reminded that this is a multi-stakeholder audience. So we have a number of representatives from different sectors. As stakeholders, perhaps we can consider coming up with primary question to each candidate in terms of what they can do for the province of Cebu in general and what they can do for Metro Cebu in particular. No foul language will be tolerated from the participants and audience. Too much noise should not also be allowed in the entire duration of this forum. So anyone committing such may be requested to leave the hall immediately. So are we ready, Metro Cebu? So I believe those are very clear ground rules and mechanics to facilitate our afternoon's forum. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Okay, before we call on our candidates, we also want to thank Smart, one of our media partners, for our Wi-Fi here. Thank you. And also, for your social media postings, if you would like to take pictures of the candidates and then post them, or of this forum, the hashtags are hashtag Klarohay Ta, or hashtag Mega Cebu Candidates Forum 2019. Thank you.
Okay, Ma'am Carol. So we invited 5 candidates.
Yes. But unfortunately, or perhaps na late lang siguro kay traffic ang Cebu. Okay. We have 3 who are here right now. Okay. But actually the 2 others confirmed. Okay. So let's just hope that they arrive. But we will anyway proceed. So to start with, our first candidate who is here with us from Hugpong ng Pagbabago, Jiggy Manicad.
A round of applause. And the next candidate that we have, a candidate from the Labor Party, Sunny Matula.
And our third candidate is still from the Labor Party, Alan Montaño.
So we have here, Ma'am Carol, our 3 serious candidates.
Okay, so we will listen to their opening statements. Each of them, they're given 3 minutes to explain, their platform. I know it's short, but we can interview them later anyways. Let's start first with Jiggy Manicad. Sir.
Mayong hapon sa inyong tanan. I am Jiggy Manicad. I have been a broadcast journalist for the past 23 years. I was a broadcast journalist with GMA, and I've been reporting all over the country about problems, about situations, even calamities, tragedies, and wars. I've been outside the country as well, doing a reportorial job in Afghanistan, Iraq, Lebanon, Syria, and other dangerous parts of the world. As a journalist, I have been exposed to different kinds of issues, especially about poverty, about corruption, about hunger, malnutrition, and all other issues that affect us, even education issues that affect students. So I've decided to run for the Senate to change the policies that affect us all. Meaning, as a journalist, nakita ko na lahat ng problema ng lipunan at kaya kong gawa ng storya, kaya kong expose, but the problem is magbabago ba talaga yung buhay ng mga Pilipino. So, as a learning process, I've learned the issues in my classroom, in the streets, in the war zones, in the calamity areas, and now I've decided to apply these learnings in changing the policies that may affect us all, especially with dealing with laws and other issues that are important to the Filipinos. So, primarily, my platform of government, my advocacy, is food security. Because I've seen communities that have become hungry because I have been in Tacloban at the height of Super Typhoon Yolanda. Nakita ko rito yung impact ng hunger sa isang community. Pag nagugutom ang isang community, ang resulta pala niya ay crime. Because may pera kami nun sa bulsa, we can buy food, but the problem was there was no available food. What happened was, nagkaroon ng looting, nagkaroon ng nakawan sa mga stores just for the people to have their own supplies, water and food. Translation, the Philippines is basically dependent on imports, rice, sugar, corn, meat, fish. Ang problema, papaano pag yung mga countries where we buy our goods would stop selling us those goods? Saan tayo kukuha ang pagkain? Shortage of food ang problem. So, in short, kailangan meron talaga tayong food security. The reason, that is my primary advocacy and platform of government.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sir Jiggy. Ma'am Carol, the next candidate to present to us his platform in advocacy is a lawyer by profession, Attorney Sani Matula.
Daghang salamat, Art. Mayong hapon kaninyong tanan. Ako si Attorney Sani Matula, number 47 sa inyong baluta. Remember 47? In 1972, Marcos declared martial law, and many sacrificed their lives, their freedom, because of that declaration. Those who do not remember history are condemned to repeat it, George Santayana said. So we remember that our democracy must be protected. Our freedom shall be upheld. Ladies and gentlemen, ako po ay dating newsboy sa Butuan City. Nahimo kong scholar sa emisyo sa Mindanao State University. O nagtrabaho ko, bisan estudyante pa ako sa mga mag-uuma sa Lala Kapatagan, kinsay Tagalanao. Sa Lala Kapatagan, Lanao del Norte. O nakauban pod nako ang mga mamumuo sa Iligan City. Sa Lanao del Norte, nakauban ko ang Federation of Free Farmers, ang Lakas Magsasakang Pilipino. Nakauban ako sa Iligan ug sa Cagayan de Oro, ang Federation of Free Workers. Pagkatapos ko ng first year College of Law sa Mindanao State University, miani ko sa Manila o gipadayon ng akong pagtuon sa Manuel L. Quezon University o nahimo kong abogado niadtong 1998. Sukad niadto hangtod karon kauban ko ang mga mamumuo sa Federation of Free Workers. Unsa man ang mga agenda nga akong ginadala nga adunay pagtuldok sa kontraktualisasyon, ang mga mamumuo adunay regular nga trabaho, ang atong mga sweldo dapat national, dili regional, atong isulong nga social security, ug ang pagprotekta sa mga mamumuo nga nagaorganisa og union. Sa akong pagdangan nining eleksyon, bugdong lugaynon, akong ginaingon sa mga mamumuo nga ang mamumuo dili mahadlok sa gahom, dapat ang gahom anaa sa kamot sa mga mamumuo. Walay makarepresent sa mga mamumuo gawa sa mga tao nga gikan sa mga mamumuo. Mayong hapon kaninyong tanan, Sani Matula, inyong kauban, numero 47 sa inyong balota.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Yes. Another candidate from the Labor Party, another lawyer, Attorney Alan Montaño.
Sa akong mga kaigsunan diri sa Dakbayan sa Sugbo, maayong hapon sa inyo tanan. Pero siguro, obviously, Ilonggo ang tono, ano? Attorney Montaño po ay galing South Cotabato. Both of my parents are from Iloilo. I should say perhaps of all the senatorial candidates for this 2019 midterm elections, only Attorney Montaño is sole senatorial candidate who came from a family of peasant farmers. And I'm not ashamed to tell the public on my background. Yes, I am a lawyer. I became a lawyer because of the scholarship program of the Federation of Free Workers. In short, I became a lawyer because of the support of the toiling masses, because of the workers. At present, I am, under that scholarship contract, by the way, I was obligated to serve the Federation for the same number of years that I was sent by them, Central Philippine University in Iloilo City. And then faithful compliance to that contractual obligation, after my bar examination, I immediately worked in the Federation of Free Workers as a legal researcher. A year after, the bar exam result came out. Unfortunately, I hit the bar exam just once in 1997. That was 1994. In 1997, because we have a staff union within the Federation, I became the president of that staff association. Eventually, I became vice president. And in 2006, became the national president of the Federation of Free Workers. And in 2011, until the present, I am its national president emeritus. And the national president emeritus of the Federation of Free Workers, and in that capacity, I represent the FFW in the formation of the biggest labor coalition in the history that we have created since 1980s. That is the Nagkaisa Labor Coalition. And in that coalition, I was tasked to be the chairman of the lobbying committee. As the one in charge of lobbying and almost appearing in all public hearings before the House of Representatives as well as the Senate. We don't have a problem with the House of Representatives, but our biggest problem is with the Senate. We can hardly find one who can sponsor the bills that we wanted to be passed in the Senate. That's one of the biggest reasons why, even in 2016, I dared to run as senator. This is the second time that I ran. And as of this point in time, I'm a part of that Labor Win coalition, that group consisting of 5 labor senatorial candidates coming from the labor sector. And we are advocating for Labor Win. Labor Win, but in Tagalog, lubikan na disenting trabaho, agrikultura at industriya ay palakasin, babaan ang presyo ng pangunahing bilihin, OFW, defense and empowerment, regular na trabaho, tuldukan ng Indo, W, wages, nationalization of wages, I, unemployment insurance, and no to Chacha ni Gloria. Anyway, we'll expand on that later on. Maraming salamat at mayong hapon sa inyong tanan.
Thank you. Sir, you can bring the microphone with you.
You can
Yeah,
have
so
your
that when we answer the questions. Okay. So paspas kay mo istorya si Attorney Montaño. Thank you very much for abiding with the time. Anyways.
Thank you.
Yes. First question for all of you. Okay. Kamusta na po ang kampanya? How has it been?
The
Who would like
campaign
to
is raging and we are now about sa gitna o tunga-tunga na ng kampanya. So, way tulog di ko ba dire? O dako ang challenge, lalo na ni adtong walay kwarta. Katulad namin sa Labor Party. So, ang among paninguha nga makuha ang inyong kumpiyansa o una, makilala ang mga kandidato sa Labor Party. Kay ang mga mamumuo, mao ang makabungog nga mayoriya sa atong nasod. 42 million workers o ang gikinahanglan sa usa ka kandidato nga mudaog, mga 13 to 16 million votes. So kung makuha nato ang mayoriya sa mga mamumuo, mao kana ang mayoriya nga boto sa mga Pilipino. Daghang salamat.
Attorney Sunny, follow-up question. How many candidates in the Labor Party?
Sa Labor Party, adunay siyam, including yung adopted si Attorney Montaño. O adunay tulo, nga kauban namo sa Labor Win, 5 kami tanan. So, 12, eksakto.
I see.
Okay, let's listen
Dili mo
to
sobra, Mr. Comelec. Kaya,
let's listen to Attorney Montaño first.
Yeah, once again, good afternoon, everyone. We have a very inspiring campaign as of this point in time. We have 54 million voters. We have 42 million of it as coming from the workforce. So what we need to win is only 14 million. So we only need to have 1 out of 3 from the labor force to vote for us and get a Senate seat. Very interesting because as of this point in time, it is very historical. It's for the first time in history that 5 candidates coming from different political parties. Attorney Matula coming from the Labor Party, Arellano coming from Katipunan, Nery Colmenares coming from Makabayan, Leody de Guzman coming from Partido Lakas ng Masa, and I myself as independent but was adopted by the Labor Party as its official candidate, joined together, was bound together by that labor win agenda. So we believe with the support of the workforce in this country, despite we don't have that much money, we'll be able to win in these elections.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Ikaw naman, Jiggy.
Yes,
Kamusta
ma'am.
outside of media?
First, dati sa media, isa lang yung iBag ko. Ngayon, parang naging 3 na yung lines. Sabihin, hindi na ako masyado natutulog. But I realized that politics is really, our political situation really need electoral reforms. Maraming electoral reforms yung dapat ipatupad at dapat gawin because as it is today, yung politics sa Pilipinas, tragically, ay para sa mayayaman. Kung wala kang pera, hindi ka makakalaban basta-basta. If you really want to serve, you would have to use all your abilities para makapag-campaign. So, ito po yung isa sa mga realization as of now na meron tayo. But so far, yung campaign namin, maganda naman po.
Okay.
Okay, I just want to ask Jiggy here, because in his opening statement, he talked about food security.
Yes, ma'am.
Nakakalungkot because the Philippines is actually basically an agricultural country.
Yes.
There was even a Japanese who said, "Give me Mindanao and I will feed the world." Yet you said that even if they have money, there's nothing to buy. Why do you think that is happening, Jiggy?
Because of the policies, ma'am. I think one of the biggest errors among the policies is yung appointments ng politicians within the Department of Agriculture. Dapat, ang ina-appoint dyan ay experts, scientists, and for them to be able to relay all the technologies, all the studies sa mga magsasaka below through extension work. Number 2, yung in terms of parang yung mga policies on microfinancing, on subsidies sa fertilizers or pesticides if needed, fuel for the machineries, wala masyado. So, I think yung mga policies na yun yung kailangan baguhin to support our agricultural sector. We have a very good model here in Cebu, in Argao, Cebu, which was pioneered by Professor Davide of UP Los Baños. So, I'll discuss it later kasi
Actually,
wala na tayong time.
we can, that would be my follow-up question.
Yes.
Interesting lang, ano yung model na yun? Because
Yeah.
I think that Cebuanos need to know.
Well, generally speaking, Prof. Davide wanted to create an impact sa kanyang hometown, sa kanyang community. Gusto niyang, in a way, baguhin yung buhay ng mga magsasaka, umunlad yung magsasaka, and go beyond the impression that a farmer is parang dirt poor, basically. So he introduced technologies, he introduced intercropping, he introduced farm practices na wala before sa community niya, and na-double, na-triple yung harvest of, for example, kamote. So na iba yung buhay ng mga magsasaka doon, and nakabili sila ng machineries, nakabili sila ng kanilang private vehicles, nakapagpagawa sila ng bahay, nakapagpaaral sila ng mga anak. So, in short, given the proper training, given the proper knowledge, farmers can really make a better income dun sa mga farms nila.
Okay, thank you. All right. May tanong ka.
Yes, Ma'am
Nakatagalog
Carol.
ko ni mo. Nakipangutana,
Actually,
sir.
that's farmer scientist
Okay.
in Argao. I have 2 questions for the 2 labor candidates. Well, as you made mention, Attorney Sani Matola, there are 42 million workers, excluding the new labor entrants after the graduation. And 2016, Attorney Alan Montaño, you run as a senator, and then by this time, do you think we can prove that we have a labor vote this coming election? So let's start with Attorney Sani and then Alan.
Yun ang challenge sa mga kandidato galing sa Labor Party at yun ang challenge sa mga kandidato na na-identify sa labor win. Kung ating titingnan yung mga kandidato mula sa mga manggagawa, Singapore, for example, Lee Kuan Yew was a labor lawyer. And he was convinced by the trade union in Singapore to take a chance into the electoral struggle. But he said, I cannot do that. You have to come with me. And so kinasama niya yung mga trade union leaders sa ilalim ng People's Action Party. At nanalo sila dahil kasama niya yung mga manggagawa. At alam niyo kung ano nangyari sa Singapore, from a third world country and a naging first world country. Ang mga manggagawa ay magandang benepisyo. Lahat ng mga kompanya ay mayroong collective bargaining agreements. Ang mga manggagawa lahat ay may bahay at walang manggagawa na walang medical care sa Singapore. Yun ang Labor Party.
Thank you. Attorney Alan?
Thank you, Art, for that very meaningful question for me. Because in 2016, when I ran, honestly, I was so assuming that the labor group, the group where I came from, will just simply support me without me approaching them. I heavily depended on the political machinery afforded by the United Nationalist Alliance under the banner of then Vice President Jigomar Binay. So I was one of the senatorial candidates under the UNA political party in 2016. This time, as you may have noticed, as I have officially declared, I am an independent senatorial candidate. I was forced by circumstance to file as an independent senatorial candidate, if only to keep the Labour vote this time. I don't want to mention a group, but within the coalition that we formed, had I filed my certificate of candidacy under United Nationalist Alliance, one bloc will not support me. Had I filed my certificate of candidacy directly under the Labor Party, another bloc will not be voting for me. So I decided to run as an independent candidate. So there's a greater chance this time.
That's the problem, no, with politics, no. I mean, you don't just you cannot just accept a person's qualification. It's you get tainted by the party you're affiliated with, which is really sad. No?
Yes, Ma'am Carol. And then, as a follow-up question to Attorney Alan Montaño, at that time when you ran, there was no nagkaisa yet at that time. But under this group, nagkaisa, we're in a lot of labor unions and organizations are forming into one. Do you think the two of you can muster the number of votes needed to win as senators?
During 2016, nag-isa already existed because it was founded in 2012.
I see.
All right? But as I said, I was so assuming, I just assumed that since I came from that group, I came from the labor group will be automatically supporting me, but I proved it wrong. And historically, this time, for the first time, nagkaisa officially endorsed the two of us to be candidate supported by the Nagkaisa Labor Coalition. And aside from the Nagkaisa Labor Coalition, we also got the support of the Church Labor Conference headed by Bishop Broderick Pabilio. So that's why this time, as I said, this is a bit historic because it never happened in the past. So for the first time, different candidates coming from different political parties, the five of us, were bounded by that common agenda we called Labor Win. And with that, we may be able to mark on the minds of our voters that there is such thing as Labor senatorial candidates this time.
So basically, you'd be happy na if at least one of the five gets into the or wins a senator.
How we wish we should have to get five.
Of course, of
at
course.
least two. So that
Of
whenever
course.
you have a motion, one will second the motion. In parliamentary procedure, we need somebody to second the motion so that whatever the motion be can be put on the table and be subject of discussion. Without the seconder, without that somebody who will second the motion, anything that you would wish to be discussed in the Senate, nothing will happen.
Okay,
So we need to have at least two Labor candidates who should be voted in the Senate.
A question for all of you, the three of you. You have all been given reading materials about Mega Cebu. What do you think about the woes, the issues of Cebu, which I think naman hindi naman magkaiba sa Manila, Sir Jiggy? Okay, let's start with you.
With your permission, I'll speak in Filipino. Sorry, hindi ko nakuha yung permission nyo kanina. I'll speak in Tagalog. Metro Cebu is a very good case for us to learn yung mga masasamang practices sa Metro Manila. And it's our chance to improve our communities para ma-improve din yung quality of life that we will have in the next decades that we will live here in Cebu. So, if we are to plan it right, if we are to plan our communities right, if we are to engage people to learn and to be informed about climate change issues na malayong-malayo sa bituka, na hindi masyadong pinapansin, if we are to have a holistic approach sa mga projects like drainages, sewers, wastewater facilities, solid waste management systems, makaka-create tayo ng community that is basically sustainable and progressive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Salamat.
Okay, yes.
Sa atong duha ka mga abogado, ikaw, Sir Sunny, Bisaya man jud kang dako, sir.
Ma'am Carol.
Oh.
Kanang plano sa Metro Cebu, usa na ka bilib ko ana kay dapat magplano gyud ang mga Pilipino. Dili lang ugma ay dili tayo handa pareho nining problema sa tubig, di ba? Balik-balik na ng El Nino, di gyapon ta handa. So itong gihimo sa Metro Cebu paghahanda. Alam mo, tiningnan ko yung Singapore ulit yung Labor Party sa Singapore. Yung plano ng Singapore ay hindi lang ngayon, hindi lang bukas. Karon nagplano na silang gitawag og digital age. Yung Fourth Industrial Revolution. Unsa man na, ang mga mamumuo, makipag-interact na sa robot. Di lang robot, aduna ba'y artificial intelligence. So, dapat ingana ang paghanda. Ang Singapore, mao ang numero 1 handa sa Fourth Industrial Revolution. Ang Germany, pangalawa na lang. So, ato na dapat nga paningkamutan.
Okay.
Okay.
Si Attorney Alan.
Well, Mega Cebu's vision of having a wholesome, advanced, vibrant, equitable, and sustainable Cebu is, for me, is an ambitious dream for all the Cebuanos. But we don't have other choice but to go for that direction. Unfortunately, for instance, in Metro Manila, as the economy develops, as the economy progresses, like also in Cebu, one of the major problems of Cebuanos this time is the heavy traffic. In Metro Manila, perhaps of all the candidates, I am the only candidate who proposed that between 5:30 in the morning to 8:30, 5:30 to 8:30 in the morning, 5:30 to 8:30 in the evening, no private cars will be allowed to pass through EDSA. Because according to JICA, we are losing around 3.2 billion a year out of these unproductive hours because of the traffic. So I was the one who only proposed that between those hours, no private cars will be allowed to pass through that place, except buses.
We'll give you follow-up. Buses. So what do you propose they do? I mean, there's millions of students who need to go to school. What do you propose they take kung buses lang ang meron?
Oh, yes, of course. If we have buses, then everybody has to take the bus. Now, if majority of the people, particularly majority of the children of our poor people can take buses, why not everybody take the same mode of transportation? If only to save everybody, in short, for the benefit of everybody. In short, nothing comes from nothing. If we want to achieve something, we have to do something. We have to share something, including risk, including sacrifices. We cannot achieve anything without contributing something.
Okay.
Yes, Ma'am Caro. One of the programs introduced by former Labor Secretary Brion is to invite employers to provide service buses to their employees as a sort of solving the traffic, and likewise making some incentives or giving some more take-home pay to the workers, because transportation cost daily is a big chunk to the income of the workers. But nobody, no takers. In fact, a lot of commercial banks have already opened a special window for that matter. If elected, are you going to pursue this kind of program or innovative programs initiated by former Labor Secretary Brion? The two of you? Attorney Sani?
Maganda yung proposal. Maayong itong proposal ni Justice, naging Justice of the Supreme Court, Brion, daghan mga kompanya na misunod ni adto, yung Mitsubishi sa Manila, aduna sila ibasang i-provide para sa mga ilang empleyado. Kadtong Certec Electronics, yung unsa pa tong isa, ubay-ubay ng mga kompanya nga misunod ni adto pero dili tanan. So kanang suwestyon na ay dako nag-ikatabang. Usap po damo nga proposal para mawala ang traffic sa Metro Manila. Baguhin nga natin yung ating wage scheme kasi ang mga mamumuo na magnet pa dito sa Manila kay dako man dito sa sweldo diri sa probinsya mubo kayo diri sa Cebu 383 pero sa Metro Manila 537, sa Bulacan 400, sa Santa Rosa 300 lang. So ang mga daghang mga tao moadto sa Metro Manila mao na nga murag mga amigas sa alas 5 sa hapon des Cubao. Puno kayong mga tao muli sa probinsya. So kung atong ma-disperse o atong ma-national na ang wages, palagay ko isa yan sa mga sulbad sa trapiko sa Metro Manila.
Okay.
Si Attorney
Attorney Alan?
Art, I guess let's continue to think of innovative ways how to save the precious time of our workforce. You see, 3.2 billion every day is an enormous amount. If that enormous amount, according to JICA, if we can save that, we can do a lot of investment from that amount. I mean, investment to create more jobs. Because personally, I'm not just asked, but since I still have my time, I believe the problem in this country really, including Cebu, is the lack of jobs or joblessness. So let's have, let's build up sufficient capital, invest it in any activity from mining, tourism, services, to generate more jobs. And I'm very specific of my proposal to tap our OFWs and put up that OFW investment fund and be able to create more jobs for our job seekers, particularly the fresh graduates.
Let's ask Jiggy also what he thinks about that same question.
Yes, ma'am. Long-term solution po yung nakikita ko dito because if we have the proper zoning, if we have the right infrastructure, hindi magkakaganito yung problem. For example, sa Metro Manila and Metro Cebu kasi problem na rin dito yung traffic. For example, sa Metro Manila, nagtataka sila bakit ang daming sasakyan bigla sa EDSA. It's because ang dami rin condominium na itinayo, mainly sa center. So, imagine kung 1,000 units per building, sabihin na lang natin mga additional 500 cars na nadagdag sa parking area na tatakbo pagpasok sa eskwelahan, pagpasok sa offices. It's a matter of proper zoning. Hindi lang basta magtatayo ka ng building, it should be studied and yung sustainability should also be studied as well.
Okay. Sir Art,
Okay, Ma'am
with your
Carol.
permission, I have a question for the three of them. But for them to be able to expound, because it's kind of basically like, it's like parang three questions. Let's give them 3 minutes. Para hindi naman maputol yung kanilang train of thought.
Okay.
Yes, mahirap nga.
Mahirap
oo.
ng one.
But because this is a really heavy loaded
Yes.
question. So what, are you in favor of federalism? That's one. If yes, why? If no, why not? And anong impact ng federalism sa inyong mga platforms? Specifically in your case, Sir Jiggy, it's the food security. Sa inyo naman, mga lawyers, on the plight of the workers, yung labor. Okay, so who would like to start? Would you like to start, Sir Jiggy? Okay, so this
Sige,
is for
I'll
3
start.
minutes.
Okay. I'm in favor of federalism as long as walang political dynasty, walang may term limits for the officials. Because, for example, Cebu would be given the chance to really govern properly its resources. Now, ang problem lang dyan would be masyadong yayaman yung Cebu at baka maiwan, for example, yung Northern Samar. So, ang proposal ko dyan would be parang to give a helping hand sa mga communities na may hirap. Alalayan pa rin ng rich communities yung poorer communities para nang sa ganon, magkaroon pa rin ng balance. Because remember, technology, industry, knowledge, masyadong marami dito sa Cebu. Other parts of the Philippines might not be as rich, as advanced like Cebu. So, dapat alalayan pa rin natin yung mga communities na mahirap para magkaroon ng balance sa growth at especially in terms of financial management. Now, yung next question, ma'am, sorry.
And how can nasagot mo niya, how can federalism affect or have an impact on your platform, yung food security?
Yeah, because food security, makikita natin dito yung strength. If we have federalism, makikita natin dito yung strength ng each community, yung needs, yung specific needs ng each community para maitama natin dun sa particular needs ng community or particular strength ng community. For example, sa Mindanao, maraming possibly agricultural lands na hindi natatap dyan because hindi siya natututukan. So, my assumption, my thinking is, pag nakafocus na yung isang government sector dyan, mas matututukan yung strength ng isang community at mas madedevelop yung sarili nitong industry for the benefit of that particular community and the country as a whole.
Okay. Thank you very much, Sir Jiggy.
Yes, Attorney Sunny Matula.
Sukad pa ni atong 1986, diyang gigambalay ang 1987 Constitution, ang Federation of Free Workers nag-adapt sa usa ka resolution nga ang atong iporma nga struktura sa gobyerno ay federal o ang iyang porma ay parlamento. Ang among nakita diha nga unang advantage mao ang una kanang mga iba-ibang kultura o ibang ways of life sa Pilipinas. Ang usang among gina-address ang problema sa Mindanao. Ang problema sa mga muro, ang problema dito sa north, dito sa unsay tawagana sa Cordillera. Pero ang among proposal ay daghan na kayo ng proposal ni Chief Justice Puno nga 16 o 18 ka mga estado. Siguro 7 hangtod 8 lang ka mga estado. O ang among proposal dili dapat pinaagi sa Constituent Assembly. Dapat Constitutional Convention para maka-appeal ang kadaghanang mga Pilipino nga wa maka-appeal sa ginahimo karon sa atong Kongreso. Sa kasalukuyan, ang proposal nga charter change papunta sa federal, pero ang problema gitanggal ang provision sa laban sa yung anti-dynasty provision na delete. Tapos git-delete ka ng term limit. Tapos ang usa pa ka napaka-aray ang mga provision sa social justice. Nawala yung mga garantiya sa konstitusyon sa katungod sa mga mamumuo nga mag-organisa. Katungod sa humane condition of life, nawala. Nawala po itong provision sa participation of the workers in decision making. Aba, kung ganun ang itsura ng ating konstitusyon, dili ata niyang katanggap-tanggap para sa mga mamumuo. Kaya ang among mga importanteng provision na wala. 15 kahimo ana. Kadto lang proposal sa House. Joint House Resolution number 15. Mao nga no to chacha kami karon. Kay ang itsura sa chacha palagay namo dili makatubag sa panginahanglan sa mga mamumuo, sa panginahanglan sa mga mag-uuma.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Attorney Alan.
Thank you, Art. Since my college days in Central Philippine University way back in 1986 to 1990 as a political science student then, I have done a thorough research on this federal form of government, and since then, and even I come across with the name Osmeña, who was said to be the father of federalism in this country, one of the advocates of federalism in this country. And personally, realizing that of all ASEAN countries, only Indonesia, Philippines, these geographical countries, archipelagic countries, Mindanao, the Muslims having separate, distinct, unique culture, separate, distinct tradition, the same manner as Ilocanos, Ilonggos, Cebuanos are separate and having separate and distinct cultures with each other. Now, why won't we give them the chance towards self-determination? All right? By then, I'm thinking that with this advocacy I have, this establishment of OFW Investment Fund, let's see which among the constituting states will be able to effectively utilize this fund such that they be able to generate enough jobs for each of their workforce in their different constituting states. In short, the well-managed the state, there we can see in shorter time, they be able to address their problem on unemployment, their problem on underemployment, their problem on low wages. So let's see how these different constituting states be able to manage their state of their, the affairs of their state, such that comes 5 years, 10 years after, we be able to see the difference on how, given the different economic capacities of these different constituting states. But as Jiggy has suggested, there should also be a mechanism by which the stronger states be able to help those poorer states. But personally, I believe there is more of advantage than disadvantage in adopting a parliamentary, federal parliamentary form of government, particularly so long as the measures suggested by Attorney Mantula, so long as the anti-dynasty provision is there. Otherwise, if there is no anti-dynasty prohibition, then these constituting states will turn to be a state for family dynasties. So those are the other measures that we have to bear in mind. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Attorney Alan. Attorney Alan, are you referring to the prom day of former Governor Lito Osmeña?
That was 1987 when I prepared my thesis, and Osmeña was a bit, Lito Osmeña was a bit later. But there is this, I cannot just recall, I have very poor memory when it comes to names. But as to the principles behind the federalism, I think it's still...
Related to the Osmeñas, or
Yeah,
another person totally different?
Yeah, related to the Osmeñas,
Okay.
the President of Cebu.
Okay, so anybody there. I have a question. This can actually be answerable in 1 minute. These are some of the Miss Universe questions that were asked last Monday, which we would like all of them to answer. Okay. First, actually, these are basically three Miss Universe questions. Number one, and you all will answer. What is your stand on same-sex marriage?
Same-sex marriage.
And why?
Hindi pa culturally or religiously ready yung ating society for same-sex marriage. Civil union might be okay para yung properties ng mga members of the LGBTQ communities who want to be with each other, mas madaling mahati. So civil unions okay, but same-sex marriage, no.
Okay. Next, Attorney Sonny.
Yung marriage kasi ay may cultural dimension yan at may religious dimension sa Pilipinas eh. Kaya sa kasalukuyan, palagay ko, hindi pa ako makasuporta sa proposal na same-sex marriage. Pero sabi pa ni Jiggy sa kanyang proposal, social partnership can be done or union can be done. Kasi realidad naman yan na may dalawang pagkapare-parehong sex ay nagsasama. So dapat, kung may mga property ma-acquire sila, dapat rules tayo dyan na klaro para hindi tayo magka-problema later on. Kaya para sa akin, marriage sa kasalukuyan palagay ko hindi pa acceptable at yung social partnership o union of the same sex ay pwede.
Okay.
Attorney Alan.
Ang pinangangambahan ko, should I favor same-sex marriage? And if, although statistically improbable, but there is probability, and if the citizens of this country would decide one way or the other, lahat sila may engage sa same-sex marriage, mauubos ang lahi natin. That's what I'm worrying of. So that's why I'm not in favor of same-sex marriage. Although, as I said, it may be statistically improbable, but it may happen. So mawawala yung lahing Pilipino.
Okay.
So, and kidding aside, aside from that, mayroon naman tayong mga batas that sufficiently addresses property relations.
Yes.
So I think when it comes to that, if that is the only concern, we have already existing laws, and if they want, we can enhance more on that aspect.
Okay.
Thank you.
Before we ask the second Miss Universe question, we actually are encouraging everybody to write their questions, and then you may give them to the marshals on the side so that they can sort of collate and filter perhaps some of the questions. Write your first name. Well, if you can write your entire name, the full name, it's okay. Anyway, the second Miss Universe question. What is your stand on the legalization of marijuana?
No. I'm not in favor because may problem pa tayo sa shabu, may problem tayo sa ecstasy, may problem tayo sa cocaine. The proposal might be maganda, but may ibang medicines na can still be effective over the marijuana thing. So, ang fear ko dyan is baka mag-leak yung marijuana, sino mag-handle ng plantation, sino mag-handle ng manufacturing, sino mag-handle ng release sa market. So, hindi na natin ma-identify kung ano yung illegal or ano yung legal by that time. So, yun yung fear ko, na baka mag-leak yung illegal sa market at madagdag pa siya sa problema sa droga sa Pilipinas. So, I'm not in favor of legalizing medical marijuana.
All right. Attorney Sonny?
Kung akong tatanungin kung medical marijuana ang ating titingnan, palagay ko ay hindi yon objectionable kasi may particular purpose at ang purpose na yan ay regulated. At kung yun ay magiging part ng legislation ng bansa, palagay ko mas okay yung part ng legislation kaysa labas eh. Kasi yung abuso ang pag walang regulation, ang abuso ang hantungan. Pero kung medical marijuana to answer yung mga illnesses ng ating mga tao, palagay ko may scientific support yan sa kasalukuyan sitwasyon.
Attorney
Alan.
Yeah, 20 years ago, I came across with an article from a psychopharmacologist stating the medical benefit that we can derive from marijuana. And I can vividly recall there in one of the debates, and the proposition is whether or not marijuana has to be legalized, and I was forced to take the affirmative side, and therefore we were forced to do more research about the advantages of legalizing marijuana. And eventually I was convinced, particularly on the medical use of marijuana. In short, I'm favoring legalization of marijuana for medical purposes. Mm-hmm. Now, if we can grow more of marijuana, perhaps this is, because we are a tropical country and we be able to grow marijuana whole year round, we may be able to export to Switzerland. Because in Switzerland, wherever you go, you have been there, Art, you can go to the public places in the parks and you can see people using marijuana. And yet, it's okay with them.
But you are only allowed to smoke 2 sticks of marijuana.
If they can do that, we can do that. We can also regulate that in this
And
country.
if you are not satisfied smoking of 2 sticks marijuana, you can buy candies coated with marijuana.
You know, we have the chance, Art. No, not kidding, but Art has had the chance to be with the tripartite delegation of the workers group in the International Labour Conference. And we have the chance to visit and see while going around Geneva and see by our own eyes, seeing people using marijuana in the parks. But of course, there are regulations in there. And we can perhaps go to Geneva and study carefully what are the regulations there and adapt here in the Philippines.
Okay, I will set aside first the Miss Universe question. Anyway, for photos, videos, and posts, use the following hashtag Klarohay Ta 2019 or hashtag Mega Cebu Candidates Forum 2019. for the three of you again, we every year we always have problems with water. Okay, and now again here in Cebu, in most parts of the city of the Metro Cebu, walang tubig the whole day, morning lang. And I also saw on TV last night that even in Manila, there's really water shortage. Okay, and every year in and every year as we go along, we always have that problem. But Singapore does not have a water problem, and to think wala silang how do you call that, water source na talagang natural. No, they had to make their own river. Okay, if given the chance, if you are blessed by God to win in the election, how do you think you can solve our water shortage forever? Hindi na yung every year, bago-bago na naman. We'll give you 2 minutes for this because it's kind of heavy question. Let's start with Sir Jiggy.
Okay, again, another long-term solution because marami tayong dagat, but we do not have the technology. It would be very expensive to desalinate yung water. So we have to invest in research and development in technology of our own. Yun yung kulang sa mga Pilipino. Wala tayong sariling technology, wala tayong sariling research and development that we can really benefit from. We can buy equipment, we can buy our cell phone, we can buy our cars, pero ang tanong kung kaya ba nating gumawa ng sarili nating kotse. So balik tayo dun sa technology, kailangan talaga magkaroon ng investment ang national government sa research and development. At least 2 to 4% ng GDP i-allocate for research and development, and predictable na yung problem sa tubig. Pag masyadong bagyo, maraming bagyo, ang daming supply ng tubig. Pag drought, wala talaga. It's climate change. So we have to really address that. We have to be prepared in terms of yung mga infrastructure natin. Kailangan mayroong mga catchment basin yan or mga imbakan para maipon yung excess water. It's just there. Kailangan lang focus talaga yung ating mga programs, focused yung ating plans, and very important pa rin ang research and development para sa mga Pilipino.
Thank you. Our lawyers, Attorney Sunny?
Malaki talaga yung pagplano ng Cebu ay malaking tulong yan. Pero ang isang proposal ko dyan sa tubig ay siguro yung ating mga policy maker, yung National Water Board natin, dapat ayusin yung strukturan yan at dapat i-revamp yung ating board na yan kasi hindi naghahanda eh. So, siguro naging yung sa structure ng board ay dapat may representasyon yung consumer at yung labor in particular, yung trade union. Sa Singapore, yung mga planning nila ay tripartite yan palagi. Hindi nawawala yung tripartite. Employers, workers, government sa mga decision making nila. Kaya handang-handa yung Singapore, maski wala silang source ng tubig, malaki ang kanilang imbakan, nakahanda. Kapag umulan, cuts lahat ang tubig ulan at may storage sila para dyan. So, hindi sila nakaka-encounter ng water crisis katulad natin sa panahon ng El Nino. Babaguhin yung ating National Water Board, representasyon ng consumer at ng workers. At siyempre siguro, invite natin yung employers para tripartite yung ating representation doon. At palagay ko, titingnan din natin yung ating policy sa privatization nitong water natin. Na hindi ibig sabihin pag pinrivatize mo, efficient na yung mga hawak nito. Kaya palagay ko yung gobyerno ay dapat wag bitiwan yung mga importanteng pangangailangan ng lipunan tulad ng tubig, power, at transportasyon.
Okay, thank you. Attorney Alan?
So long as nasa private hands ang control nitong very, very important element, itong water, ang future natin ay nakasalalay sa mga kamay nila. And what I'm afraid of, simple lang, kung itong mga water concessionaires natin sa ngayon, for instance, in Metro Manila, Maynila and Manila Waters, if they don't care expanding, for instance, or if they do expanding pero not enough, can government force them to do it? Definitely not. Yung mga malalayong lugar, hindi na, ang alam lang natin, itong Metro Manila, itong sa sentro na wala ng tubig. Yung lugar na hindi naaabutan ng tubig, and to which the concessionaires are not willing to operate because it is not commercially viable, paano sila? They had long been there suffering without water. And I think the flaw from the very beginning is when the government decided to privatize or to give the management of that water operations to the hands of the private sector. And personally, I have been proposing that these basic services, as I also mentioned by Sunny and I think agreeable din si Jiggy, all these businesses involving basic services has to be controlled by the government. Kung may gagawin man ang gobyerno ngayon, the government cannot do it directly because nasa control nitong Maynilad and Manila Waters. So, the proposal, and I guess, with our OFW investment fund, if we have enough fund, we have to buy back Manila Waters.
Okay.
Now, the time,
Yes.
since the water concession is owned by our OFWs, and it's their families who are using water, then it will result to mas murang patubig, mas efficient na serbisyo, because it's the families who are using it. So, and who will be using it. So I think it's just right that we revert back the ownership.
Before we ask the next question, the reason why we need you to write your name, your full name, when you ask the question is so that we can include your name and Facebook when we post your questions. Okay. Unless otherwise you ask a very controversial question and you don't want to be known, okay lang, we respect that. Okay, so next.
Yes, Ma'am Carol, I have here 4 questions, written questions. First is about the tax measure, the train law, the tax reform for acceleration and inclusion. What is your take on the train law? Do you support it? So the 3 of you will answer.
Train law, dapat yung excise tax on fuel should be removed kasi malaki impact nito sa goods and other services. Dapat, for me, yung mga, I consider luho products, like yung mga pagkain sa restaurant, unhealthy products, mga chichirya or fatty food, dapat yun ang tinatax. Sigarilyo, alak, sin taxes is good. But fuel, ang laki ng impact niyan sa basic goods, basic commodities that we all need every day. Especially yung parents natin na, of course, ang mahal ng bibilhin and then maapektuhan yung mga baon nyo, mababawasan. Pag kumain kayo sa kantin, mas mahal na yung isang cup ng kanin. So basically, may impact to sa ating lahat. And ang tingin ko dyan, dapat hindi tinatamaan yung fuel sa taxation. It's more of other products, luxury products na hindi naman masyadong kailangan, or yung mga sin taxes, okay lang taasan yon.
Okay, thank you. Next, Attorney
Sunny.
Okay. Yung taxes naman talaga ay hindi natin yan maiiwasan. Kasi hindi mabubuhay yung gobyerno natin kapag walang taxes Kaya importante na i-reforma yung ating tax system. Kami sa FFW, may mga proposal kami niyan na i-reforma yung tax system natin. Pero ang kinalabasan nga itong train na nangyayari. Yung train na nangyayari ay yung sinasabi ni Jiggy Manicad na yung taxes para sa mga petrolyo at sa mga related products, palagay ko ay dapat hindi nga natin yan i-impose dyan ang train na yan. Kaya dapat i-review yung train na yan at tanggalin yung taxes o buwis sa ating mga produktong petrolyo. Ano pa? Kami may proposal tungkol sa sin taxes. Yung proposal namin dyan, 30 pesos, 0.50, di ba ngayon? Ang bawat pakete. Yung aming proposal dyan, isusuportahan namin yung proposal ni Manny Pacquiao at ni GB ba? Na gawing lang 90 pesos. yung taxes dyan kasi nakakamatay nga naman talaga ang paninigarilyo. At malaki ang gastos ng gobyerno dyan na sa mga tinatamaan ng mga sakit. Kaya pabor kami na itaas yung taxes sa sigarilyo, sa alcohol, at sa iba pang hindi productive at nakakasira na mga produkto.
Okay.
Siyempre,
Still have.
siyempre, may mga manggagawa dyan. Halimbawa sa tabako, may mga 40 to 50,000 families na dependent dyan sa industriya na yan. Mayroong about 2 million workers ang na-involved dyan. So palagay ko, dapat mayroong safety net itong manggagawa na ito na kung matanggal sila ay sasaluhin sila at tulungan ng gobyerno kung sila ay ma-displace.
Thank you. Attorney Alan?
On this train law, except, as they already have mentioned, on the provision imposing additional excise tax on petroleum products, which I personally believe needs to be reviewed. As a whole, I am in favor of train law. One, first, this is the only law na nagkaroon ng distinction between the rich and the poor. Ever since, wala tayong batas na may distinction ang rich and poor. With Train Law 1, 50% of the entire Filipino families must have to receive a subsidy at the rate of 300 pesos. Well, of course, that's not enough, but for sure, hindi tatanggap yung mayayaman. Pero yung 50% of Filipino families, as a proof, dapat tatanggap ng subsidy na yan. So, second, kung ang intensyon talaga ng law, ng train law is to raise funds para sa Build program, talagang kailangan natin ng pondo. Saan tayo kukuha ng pondo? Mangungutang na naman tayo sa World Bank, sa ADB. Every time na mangungutang tayo doon, kahit na wala $1 million lang, maraming conditionalities dyan. Right? That's why all this privatization happened because of those impositions dahil sa ating pangungutang. Second, maliban doon sa pag, as I said, distinction between the rich and the poor, imagine, for the ordinary workers before, pag minimum wage earner ka, dati, okay, exempted ka sa withholding tax. Pag madagdagan ng piso ang sahod mo, either voluntarily given by the employer or through collective bargaining, pag nag-union ka, pag nadagdagan ng piso yung minimum wage mo, lahat ay maging subject sa withholding tax. Lugi ka pa. Ngayon, up to 20,800, not subject to withholding tax, yung mga minimum wage earners natin. Yung mga wage earners natin not exceeding 20,800, ay hindi sila subject sa withholding tax. Ngayon, kung ang minimum wage dito sa Cebu is 383, magkano na yun? Lagay natin 400 times 30. That's around 12,000. So, in short, yung elbow room ninyo, kung mag-unionize yung mga workers dito, meron pa silang 8,000 na increase na pwedeng i-negotiate, yet hindi pa rin sila makukover ng tax. Malaking motivation, malaking dahilan na pwede pa silang mag-unionize. Pero under the old law, kaya nga bumababa yung union density, yung unionization rate bumababa because hindi na mag-unionize yung mga manggagawa. Pag mag-unionize ka at makukuha mong increase, for instance, 10 pesos lang, ilugi ka pa kung withholding tax mo 40. Lugi ka pa ng 30. So ngayon, under the train law, dahil tinaasan yung cap dyan, ay pwede na makapag-unionize further yung ating mga... That's why, aside from that provision, imposing excise tax sa petroleum products, by and large, ako I'm in favor of train law 1. In the same manner, train law 2. Dahil dyan naman, ang usapin naman dyan is babaan yung income tax ng mga companies to encourage more investors. Wala akong objection doon. So, kailangan siguro maintindihan ng ating mga mamamayan kung ano yung advantages at disadvantages nitong train law na ito.
Okay, thank you. Now, I have a question. This is really just for Jiggy. And 1 minute lang. Okay. Walang byline, okay? So whoever asked this, I will read your question verbatim, okay? With a little bit of edit lang. Okay. If you are elected and President Duterte makes more crude, bastos remarks and threatens to kill people, would you defend this as part of free speech? That's the first question, because the next is related. Yes or no?
Gaya dun sa iba mga interviews na nabanggit ko, each leader has his own style. But of course, alam naman natin that if, kumbaga parang ang impact niyan ay threat, for example, sa priests or mga bishops, then dapat government has to investigate kung saan nanggagaling yung mga threats na yon at yung mga pananakot sa mga bishops, for example. Because hindi natin po pwede na mahayaan na may mamatay or may maharas. But in terms of yung rhetorics, hindi natin yan makokontrol because as I've said before, yan yung pwede maging figure of speech. Pwede nilang i-defend yan as figure of speech o kaya hyperbole. But we have to have a mechanism of investigating yung mga threats na ito, yes, para maprotektahan naman yung mga naapektuhan na sectors.
Okay.
Okay, thank
Ito
you.
pa, follow up.
Okay.
I think from the same person, because the same penmanship. For Jiggy again, as a journalist, you uphold free speech, fearless comments. So why do you block critical comments in your Twitter account?
It depends. If I feel na trolling yung ginagawa for me, I will do that because I have pictures na one follower, 200 following. It's a troll, obviously. Why would not I block that? Diba? It's my account. I am at liberty to do whatever I want on my account. So I'm not really into social media, basically. But kung nakikita ko naman trolling at inaabuso lang, minumura lang naman ako, bakit hindi ko naman gagawa ng aksyon on my part? But I would not apologize to people na binabadmouth ako for my stand. Because I would explain my stand every time I would have an interview. Pero kung mumurahin nyo ako, definitely I'll block you off. Diba? It's not freedom of expression na. Abuse na, harassment na yan eh. So why would I allow that person to do that on my person?
Okay, thank you. At least na-clarify.
Yes.
Okay. Another question
Another
there.
question, Ma'am Carol, to the three of our candidates.
Ma'am, sorry. I think dapat nagpakilala yung nagtanong eh. To be fair. Kasi, di ba, if we want freedom of expression here, I mean, I would not engage you in a debate. But, dapat wala din tayong takot magtanong if we are really on the side of the truth. Di ba? Kasi ako parati ko sinasabi, if you are on the side of the truth, kahit 10 tyrants, kahit 10 dictators ang humarang sa'yo, hindi ka dapat matakot. Because as a journalist, I've been in the middle of warring families in Mindanao, for example. Nagpapatayan talaga. But I never got a threat from them because I've been fair, transparent, honest. I reported with integrity. So, hindi ako natatakot kahit kanino. So, huwag kang matakot. Parang i-approach mo ko, i-text mo ko, and I would not engage you. I would not block you. Kung na-block kita, sorry, hindi kita ulit iba-block. As I did with Pinoy Ako Vlog.
Okay.
Diba?
So, whoever-
Binalik ko siya sa account ko. So, magmura ka, bahala ka. But, dapat wala tayong takot kung talaga nagsasabi tayo.
Sige,
Okay,
later.
Sir
You
Jiggy.
can
Later,
approach
no?
Jiggy.
You can approach him.
Okay.
And ask
Hindi
his
kita
number.
awayin.
Okay.
Okay.
So, for the three of them, how do you view the entry of Chinese laborers, which the administration is openly supporting?
Let's start with Attorney Alan.
Binago. Well, thank you for that question. First, let's find out who among those Chinese workers here in the Philippines now do not possess the necessary working permit. Our law is very clear. No foreign workers is allowed to work in this country unless he possesses a working permit issued by the Department of Labor and Employment. Right? So, it's not because they are here, automatically we will assume that they are working here illegally. Right? If after due process, after giving them the opportunity to present, to justify their presence here, and they're able to produce necessary document, then we should have to honor that. But if they are here because, one, they don't have the necessary, they have to be deported after due process. But I am interested to find out if indeed they might be also victims of human trafficking. So let's also investigate on that. And if ever found to be victims of human trafficking, let's investigate further who are responsible on this and hold them responsible. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Attorney Sani?
Yung ating standby, lahat ng manggagawa, tanan nga mga mamumuo, kinahanglan atong respetuhon. Chinese man siya, Indian man siya, Koreano man siya, o Pilipino. So, ang respeto ay dapat aduna o kanunay atong ginahatag sa mga mamumuo. Kay doon naman tayo mga mamumuo sa uban nga nasod. Pero gingon na nga aduna kita mga balaod sa Pilipinas. Ang atong konstitusyon, preference sa mga Pilipino kaysa mga taga-Langyaw, di ba? Kaya binanata namin si Montolpo. Bakit niya sinabi na tamad daw ang mga Pilipino? Hindi naman totoo. Sabi daw ng mga employer o yung mga amigo. Pero hindi yan totoo. Kaya sabi namin, dapat bawiin niya. Kung di niya bawiin, mag-resign na lang siya. Pero kung di pa siya mag-resign, patanggal kay Presidente. Pero kung di tanggalon sa Presidente, file na mo next week ang kaso.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow. At least na-process, ha? Thank you. Jiggy.
Yes, Jiggy.
I think kung legal as a foreign worker, okay lang yun. Kung walang papers, that's a problem. Kasi we'll be entertaining illegal, undocumented aliens sa Pilipinas. So, just the same, other side of the story, kung merong OFW, for example, sa UAE, o kaya isang Pilipino sa US, na walang documents, ganun din yung case niya. Dapat documented. But if it's not documented, then dapat i-deport talaga, kasuhan or i-deport dun sa home country nila. Yun yung stand ko. If it's legal, okay lang yan. Kasi I think ang nangyayari dito, may mga employers na since ang client nila ay sa China, for example, kumukuha sila ng mga kababayan nila as long as documented, I think within legal bounds pa rin.
Okay, but the reports that were cited were workers mostly employed in the online gaming, the PUGO, the Philippine Online Gaming Organization, wherein workers from the casino, you have the PAGCOR, reported that we were giving incentives or paying taxes to the government, and yet Chinese workers on the online gaming are not paying taxes to the government. So that's the problem of this situation.
I think because, sir, yung corruption is pa rin, rampant, prevalent pa rin. For example, sa Bureau of Immigration na madali ka maglabas ng documents para lang makapag-work ka dito. So hindi talaga dumadaan sa tamang process, the legal process para makapag-work talaga sila legally. So pag shinort ka talaga yan, pag nagkaroon ng bribery dyan, that's a problem. So dapat yung government should address that issue within the Bureau of Immigration, and yung POGO kasi is legal. In fact, may mga investment sa Cagayan, may tinatarget silang investment sa Cavite, but the problem would be yung influx. Kung napaprocess pa ba talaga itong mga Chinese na to lahat, one by one, or hindi na, or pinapalusot na lang. So that would an issue of corruption, sir.
Okay.
Do you have something to add to that?
Ang usaan na kanamo ka proposal nga balaod doon sa labor code, dapat tasan og penalty kanang mga recruiter, mga employer nga nagdala dirig mga illegal nga mga langyaw, para ang atong tatagag penalty dili ang mga mamumuo kundi kadang gadala diri sa Pilipinas.
Alam ninyo mga igsoon ko din sa dakbayan sa Sugbo. While as I said, there is that law which requires na ang ating mga foreign workers must have to possess working permit issued by the Department of Labor and Employment, and it can only be issued if it is proven that there is no willing, able, and qualified Filipino worker who can take on the job. Kung wala, then pwede. Pwede issue ng working permit. Now, The question is, we have a lot of jobless member of the workforce in this country. Yet there are influx of foreign workers. If ever I win in the Senate, that's one thing that I have to investigate. If this implementing rules requiring that there should be permit can only be issued if there is no willing, able, and qualified Filipino worker who can do the job. And then it will only be then that foreigners can be allowed. Let's investigate on that.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Here's another question for the three of you. If you win, how would you fight government corruption if there still is? Because, and I'm sure there still is, no? How would you fight it? Jiggy?
For example, sa BIR, I would really propose na talagang maging automated na siya. Wala nang person-to-person transaction. Because ang nangyayari is, kahit mahigpit, for example, ang Malacanang, may anti-corruption drive. But if you pay your taxes at dumaan ka sa isang, for example, an examiner, at alam mo na gusto mo magbayad ng tamang tax, may pagkakataon pa rin na, ano yun natin yan, pababain natin yan, ganito, ganito. So, alam mo yun, may person-to-person transaction pa rin na pwede kang makorap. Either way, makorap mo yung official or ikaw makorap na ma-influence ka niya. So, if parang online na lang, merong app na dinevelop for that, online na lang ang bayaran, wala nang person-to-person transaction, then malaki ang maitutulong nito sa efficiency ng tax collection sa Pilipinas. The employees ng BIR can manage yung mga ibang documents na hindi kailangan or mawawala doon sa linya na i-automate. So I'm sure may mga rule pa rin sila na pwede magawa. So ang nakikita ko lang dyan, as long as matindi yung person-to-person transaction, nandun yung inefficiency, nandun yung corruption in terms of tax collection.
All right. In other words, automation is the key to fighting corruption. Okay, Attorney Sonny?
Dugang dito sa gihatag ni Senator Jiggy Manicad. Ang akong proposal ay yung the strong participation of the trade union, lalong-lalo na sa gobyerno. Ang atong mga government employee dapat adunay union para i-counter-check ang mga ginahimo sa ilang mga bosses, mga boss nila. Sa Singapore, ang mga trabahante, empleyado sa gobyerno, adunay makusog nga union nga pwedeng adtuan sa mga tao kung aduna sila'y complain sa ilang departamento o sa kaahensya. O kining union, adunay kusog ngadto sa gobyerno. So, maging counter-check ang mga union sa mga ginahimo sa tao sa gobyerno. So, ang akong proposal diyan, palakasin natin yung public union, ang mga union sa publiko.
Okay. Attorney Alan?
Yes, Ma'am Carol. I have mentioned this publicly in several fora which I attended. One way of addressing corruption, I guess, is one, we first have to amend the plunder law. From 50 million, let's reduce that to 1 million. In short, once proven, any public official, appointed or elective, who are found guilty of corruption in the amount involving 1 million, that should suffer the penalty of life imprisonment. Second, while we are in the process of amending our constitution, I'm also proposing that instead of proof beyond reasonable doubt as a quantum of evidence required to prove the guilt of those involved in plunder, why not reduce it simply to preponderance of evidence? The same amount of evidence required in administrative proceedings. That amount of evidence to which a reasonable mind would believe that indeed there's something that transpired. In short, there is evidence, that amount of evidence that could convince a reasonable mind to believe na meron yang nangyari.
Okay.
Okay.
We are running out of time. Would you like to ask that?
You still have
yes.
a question, Ma'am Carol?
I have a question here, but I'm going to, because this is answerable by yes or no only, no? So basically two questions answerable by yes or no, and then why. Really short lang, siguro 90 seconds, 1.5 minute. Okay, later, okay? One is, are you in favor of restoring the death penalty? So that's just yes or no, and why? And number two is, are you in favor of lowering the age of accountability of liability, criminal liability of minors?
Yes, based on experience, nakita ko sa kalye, sa mga nakausap ko sa coverage, sa mga na-interview ko, yes, I'm in favor of lowering because 13 years old ay talaga nakakagawa ng crime with the knowledge. Yung 9 years old, hindi ako in favor doon before nung pre-propose yun. But yung 12 or 13, medyo malaki na yan. But hindi dapat sila ikulong sa jail. Hindi kasama ng hardened criminals. They have to be reformed. They have to be also given parang classroom lessons sa Bahay Pag-asa. And Bahay Pag-asa should be funded properly as well para maayos, para lang silang nakatira sa loob ng bahay. Number two, yung
death penalty.
Death penalty, yes, for yung mga magnanakaw sa gobyerno. And number two, yung mga gumagawa ng heinous crimes. Remember yung nangyari sa Lapu-Lapu, parang no human being can really do that. Parang in his right mind. Wala makakagawa, no? Paano mo tatanggalin yung dila? Paano mo tatanggalin yung throat? Paano mo tatanggalin yung skin ng muka? It's
Kung hindi sila sabog.
yeah, kung heinous crimes na ganito, I mean, bigay na natin sa kanila ilagay na natin sila sa baba. 'Di ba? So, number one, magnanakaw sa gobyerno dahil grabe impact niyan. Yung health center na dapat nakakakuha ng 12 paracetamol, dahil ninakaw na sa taas, 6 paracetamol na lang makukuha ng health center sa mga remote areas. I've seen that, I've experienced that. So, pag nanakaw, heinous crimes, drug traffickers, yes.
Okay. Attorney Sani.
Ang kasamtangang batas o balaod, palagay ko tama na yan, hindi na dapat baguhin eh. Ang akong tanaw diya sa mga bata, biktima sila sa sirkumstansya. Kung gigamit sila sa mga sindikato, ang sindikatong dapat habulin natin. Di ba? So, para sa ako, tama lang yung, although yung yung 12-year-old ay naa sa atong revised penal code kani adto man gibalik ng karon ang proposal ata. Pero palagay ko regression yan eh, pagbabalik, no? Parang regressive ang batas. Ang ating 15-year-old ngayon ay palagay ko mas advanced yan kaysa 12-year-old. Ang usa ka 12-year-old kung makakommit ng crime, akong kuha nga dili sila i-consider na criminal. Pwede silang maging accountable pero hindi sila dapat maging liable kasi pag may pagbabago pa, may pagkakataong pang mabago yan eh. Yung mga batang 12-year-old, palagay ko dapat wala silang criminal liability. Pwede silang maging accountable pero yung tatak na criminal sila ay masyadong mabigat yan sa mga bata.
Okay, Attorney Alan?
First, on death penalty, I have a qualified position on that. First, for those guilty of plunder in the amount of 10 million, all right? But I would like to first clarify. Ang sabi kasi nila, if you are favoring death penalty, ang nabibiktima lang dyan ay mga mahihirap. Right? Considering, yun ang sinasabi nila, yun ang pinakamabigat na argumento nila. But on my position, that's why I have a qualified position on death penalty. Because first, I only agreeable to death penalty on 3 instances. One, in case of plunder with a reduced amount of 10 million. Pag 10 million or more, death penalty. Wala namang mahirap nagnanakaw ng ganong kalalaki. In short, wala namang corrupt na mahihirap. In short, those who will potentially be guilty of that crime, ay ito ring mga nasa posisyon, ay walang mahirap na mga nasa posisyon. Lahat yan mayayaman. Second, in cases involving those guilty of involving illegal drugs, those involved in manufacturing and distribution. Limited lang yan sa manufacturing and distribution. Walang nagmamanufacture, walang nagdi-distribute na mahirap. Doon siguro sa use at sa sale, meron. Pero doon sa manufacture, wala. Third, those who are found guilty of complex crimes involving loss of lives. Ano yun? Robbery with homicide. Ninakawan mo na, pinatay mo pa. Rape with homicide. Nirape mo na, pinatay mo pa. Kidnapping with homicide. Kinidnap mo na, pinatay mo pa. In short, hindi na nagre-reflect yun sa kahirapan ng tao. That reflects how evil that person is.
Depravity of the mind.
Okay.
Yung sa bata, sir.
Sorry, wala
Sige
na time,
lang.
pero I think it's very
Just add,
important.
yes.
Again, on those two issues, I was, may mga grupo na hindi sumasangayon sa akin. But, you see, Thailand, 7 years old. Singapore is 10 years old, or 9 or 10. I'm not so sure, pero konting research lang yan. But the average as of now sa buong mundo is 11 years old. Not only because of that, but ako personally, sa araw-araw kong pagpasok sa opisina, dumaan ka ng Arten. From Malate, daan ka ng Pier, daan ka na Nagtahan. 8 years old, 9 years old, 10 years old, obviously below 12 years old, aakyat na mga public utility vehicles, trucks, whatever na pipili nila mapakinabangan o value, pasa-pasa sila. So consciously, obviously, they are doing it with discernment. In short, they know what they are doing. And I think reducing it from 15 to 12 is justified as of this time. So, anyway, sa buong mundo, 11 naman yung reduced age of criminal liability. Sa atin, ang proposal is 12. I go for it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I actually, if I may just interject, no,
Okay.
there was one call center agent, I think 2 years ago, who was killed along Jones Avenue. Gigukod siya, sir, og mga bata. He was withdrawing money, kadlawon. Unya gigukod mga batang gagmay, ha? And he was killed. So these kids knew what they were doing. Yet, I don't know why they were in the streets. I think we should penalize the parents for allowing
Pero pwede
the kids
silang
to
hindi
be
isama
out.
doon sa mga hardened criminals. Iwala yung kanilang kulungan.
Okay, ikaw,
Okay.
sir.
Yes, I have 2 questions here that will require you 1 minute each for you to answer. One is, would you pledge to file or support a bill to ban political dynasties? Second is, do you agree with President Duterte's suggestion to rename the country to Maharlika? Let's start
Okay.
with Jiggy, I think.
Okay.
Political dynasties dapat iban because I've seen yung impact niya, especially sa Mindanao. Yung mga mahirap na communities lalo naghirap because ang concentration ng resources and nung power nasa isang family. Pag tumanda na yung lolo, yung anak naman, then pag nawala yung anak, yung wife, malaki na yung anak nila, yung anak naman, then wala nang change
Never ending.
talaga, never ending siya. So it has to be broken, itong mga political dynasties na ito. Dalawang klase, fat and yung isang good dynasty, but as it is, dynasty pa rin siya. So I think para maging fair sa lahat who want to serve, dapat walang dynasty. Number 2, Maharlika. Nasa NHI na yan for them to study, but ang important para sa mga Pilipino, strengthen natin yung pagmamahal sa bansa natin. Parang wag lang natin i-adapt yung foreign technology or foreign ideas. Dapat mahalin talaga natin yung sariling atin.
I think it's not a change of name, it's a change of behavior, change of the heart.
Yes. Wag natin masyado mahalin yung Twitter.
It's radical change.
Diba?
Radical change.
Radical change. Mahalin natin yung sarili nating kultura. Promote natin yung mga lechon Cebu na iba-iba, di ba? Iba-ibang brand.
Maharlika lagi, pero mura gihapon, corrupt lang gihapon, change pa ang name.
Oo.
Anyways, Attorney Sunny?
Dapat i-categorically prohibit na talaga ang dynasty sa atong balaod. O kung ako mapili pagka-senador, ang una sa mga proposal ay ang pag-ban ng political dynasty. 100 million ang mga Pilipino, di ilang pipila ka pamilya. Ikaduha, kadang pagbago sa pangalan sa Pilipinas, palagay ko, dili pa na prioridad. Daghan pa mas priority sa atong kasamtangang higayon.
Thank you. On political dynasty, it is my conviction that political dynasties breeds corruption. Pagka ang governor belongs to one family, the congressman belongs to the same family, the mayor, isang tuhog na sila. It breeds corruption. it also breeds criminality. Bakit? Magpapatayan yan para lang ma-maintain sila sa posisyon. Third, political dynasties kills democracy. Nabanggit na nila. Wala na yung iba, wala nang chance. Tatakbo ka nga, wala kang panapanalo. Sa budget pa lang, budgetan ni congressman, ni mayor, ni governor, tag 500 lang sila, di 2,000 na. Ikaw, kahit may pambili ka pa ng buto, 200 pesos. Yun ang nangyayari sa mga iba. Hindi sa atin yun. Sa iba.
Okay.
Wala silang kapanapanalo. Di ba? And finally,
Sa name.
And finally, political dynasties perpetuates poverty.
Yes.
Ha?
Okay.
Lahat ng, tingnan mo, yung mga hirap ng mga provinces natin, tingnan nyo. Yung political history nila, hinawakan na ng ilang pamilya yan. Look at Samar. Then finally, yung sa isang...
Sa pangalan.
Sa Marlica, marami pa tayong pagtuunan ng pansin. Let's think on how to generate enough jobs para sa ating mamamayan. Matigil na itong pag-abroad ng ating mga kababayan. Maraming salamat.
Okay. It's now 3:25. So last question, which is actually the most important question of the forum. We actually, because this is a Mega Cebu forum, we have actually a bill pending in Congress now. It's the Mega Cebu Development Authority. I'll just say when, so I'm assuming that you're gonna win. When you win as senator, are you going to support the Mega Cebu, the MCDA, para mapasa siya as a bill so that we can actually continue our plans to create making waves Mega Cebu? Yes, Sir Jiggy?
Hindi ko lang po i-support, kundi I will make sure I will monitor yung progress nung direction nito because ang problema sa atin is may tendency tayo na, well, generally speaking, maging ningas kugon. Ang ganda sa proposal, ang ganda sa papel, but in terms of implementation, natutupad ba? So, monitoring is important na per direction, per phase, natutupad para hindi siya napapabayaan. Because if we do a proposal this big, may mga study yan which would require millions of pesos or even millions of dollars for a study alone. So dapat hindi matapon yung resources ng Pilipino, hindi matapon yung resources ng taxpayers na lalo na yung mga taga-Cebu.
Thank you very much. Attorney Sani?
Pabor ako na ang atong mga local government adunay kaugalingon nga will o adunay otoridad nga manggamhanan sa usa ka teritoryo. Kini usa ka paagi nga paingon ngadto sa usa ka federal republic sa umaabot nga mga adlaw kaya siguro maski kung ako nang makitaan ang katibukan niya ng proposal baka maging principal sponsor tayo niyan sa Senado para maipasa agad ang batas na ito.
Thank you. Attorney Alan?
Pwede bang sabihin ko na lang, I adapt their statements in toto?
Yes, sir. Copy-paste.
Oo, ganun na. Copy-paste. Pwede niyo ang pinakabadali. And anyway, just in addition, not only Mega Cebu, including other initiatives from other cities.
Yes.
Iloilo, Davao, if they do the same, I would encourage that.
Yes.
Sabi nga niya kasamang Atty. Matula, towards, anyway, in the future, towards achieving the objective of federalism. Ganun lang yon. So nauna lang siguro ang Cebu. Nauna lang siyang nakamuklat ba, o naka-initiate at nabuksan yung kanyang, yung mga kuwan natin dito, yung mga pillars natin dito sa Cebu, yung mga legendary personalities natin dito like Aboites, at least mas maaga silang nagising kisa sa mga ibang personalities sa ibang places. But as I said, I will be supporting those initiatives. So, kung mananalo kami sa Senado, sponsor namin yun siguro.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
But a follow-up to that, still Mega Cebu, are you in favor of the bill or the... Kasi meron mga iba-ibang versions na, but people are saying that there are some people, some camps saying that it should be purely government that should handle the problems of Metro Cebu. But Mega Cebu kasi is a public and private partnership. So are you in favor of it being continuing to be a public-private partnership or gusto niyo pure government lang, sir?
It should be multi-sectoral, public and private pa rin.
Yes.
Because iba yung ideas ng government. Minsan shortcut yung government para kung ano lang yung madali, yun lang yung gagawin niya. Yung private sector, medyo mas may compassion yan pag minsan.
Yes.
Pero dapat, yung compassion component should be strengthened because at the end of the day, wag lang nating titingnan na profit or business-oriented yung magiging projects or output ng Mega Cebu. It should be talaga makakatulong sa poorest of the poor, and it should also develop communities which are parang climate change proof. Dapat ganun siya ka-sustainable because maraming problems tayo may encounter na hindi natin pinapansin today, but as a journalist, nakita ko na, especially experience ko dun sa Super Typhoon Yolanda.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank
Okay.
you.
Ikaw, Attorney Sani.
Nalang ko i-emphasize ka ng private-public partnership ay hindi lang dapat mga kapitalista o mga kompanya nagpa-participate diyan. Ang among proposal sa trade union, dapat isama ang trade union sa private-public partnership na yan. Kasama ang ALO TUCP diri sa Cebu. Kasama ang nagkaisa labor coalition dapat. Yung trade union ay dapat kasali sa decision-making processes sa board na yan dapat.
Okay.
Attorney Alan?
Napakaganda ng public-private partnership na yan eh. However, ako, I would dare to say, pero itong the following should be under control ng gobyerno and should not be in private hands. 1, water supply and management. Sorry Second, yung flood control, government yan. Traffic and transport, dapat government yan. Kahit saan na pumunta, Japan, US, Europe, kontrolado niyan. In the same manner, yung ating sewage and sewerage water treatment system. Wala kasing nasa private na magtitik-charge yan, walang kita dyan, so dapat it should be controlled. And that would be affecting the entire populace of Metro Cebu. So that's why I propose. Those are the areas na dapat kontrolado ng gobyerno. All others, welcome natin ang lahat ng private initiatives.
Actually, I just wanna state this now. The private there is in terms of the planning. When we meet together, hindi lang puro government ang nagpa-plan. We also have to involve the private sector, the NGOs, trade unions, so because it's a collaborative process. People should really be given the voice because ang mga nangyayari on the ground comes actually from the public, from the private sector, meaning to say everybody out there, the general public.
In addition to that, the PPP programs, we are just copying it from the UK program implemented. So that's the initial implementation of the public-private partnership. And in fact, every year, they have a partnership for change summit in the UK. And not unlike the PPP of the party of former Senator Raul Manglapos, Patay-Patay Permi.
Okay, so that's about it. Thank you very much to our three senatoriables. We wish you all the luck. But before we end, and we're going to have a recap of all that you said, we'll allow you first to give your closing statements. This time, 3 minutes naman.
Okay.
You may stand, you may walk around if you want. Who will start? Ikaw, Attorney Alan? Okay, sige.
Last.
Ang kong mga kaigsuhunan sa dakbayan sa Sugbo, ganon din yung ating mga kababayan sa province of Cebu. Maayong hapon sa inyong tanan. You've heard the three of us who are newcomers, right? New fights in the field of, anong tawag natin?
Electoral.
Hindi balik, kung ano man yun.
Bugnong lugay nun.
Marami kayong narinig na bagong ideya. Sa mga tumatakbo sa ngayon, sa Senado, 7 yung babalik. Alright? In short, 7, there are 7 re-electionists. There are 7 comebackers. 14 na yun, 12 lang pipiliin natin. Meron pang mga superstars kuno. Mukhang kami hindi kasama doon. Pero ito lang, I would dare you to ask them, ano pa ba yung babalikan noong mga re-electionists na sinimulan nila na hindi pa natapos? Or are they bringing new ideas? In the same manner, yung 7 na datihan na bumabalik pa, meron ba silang nakalimutan na hindi magawa o nagawa noong sila ay nanilbihan pa? Kung wala silang bago na ideya, pakiusapan natin, paubayan na muna natin sa mga baguhan who have new ideas, and we have hope for the future of this country. Maraming salamat at magandang hapon sa inyong lahat.
Thank you.
Thank you, Attorney
Attorney
Alan.
Sani.
Montaño.
Okay. Daghang salamat sa oportunidad nga gihatag ninyo kanamo para among maipahayag kaninyo ang among agenda nining umaabot nga bugnong lugaynon ba? Stoppage na akong binisaya kay wala na ako ma-practice lugay na. Ang atong tan-awon karon ang Senado, walay representasyon ang mga mamumuo. Walay representasyon ang mga mag-uuma. Kaya, katong niaging tuig, gikaltasan og 860 million ang budget sa agrikultura. Walay nag-object. Karong tuiga, doon ay 4% reduction sa budget sa agrikultura. Walay nag-object. Walay mga mamumuo, walay mga mag-uuma sa Senado. Kaya yun ang napaka-importante. Ang Senado, ang Kongreso, para sa gitawag nato og common nga kaayuhan or the common good. But kung walang representasyon, ang pinakadaghang lumulupyo sa Pilipinas, palagay ko walang common good yan eh. Kasi walang interest na maipapakita, walang interest na mag-aalsa sa mga mag-uuma o mga mamumuo. Panahon na para palitan ang atong mga incumbent o mga nagbalik ang mga senador. Ihatag nato sa Labor Party, sa Labor Win, o sa mga bag-o naman ang representasyon sa Senado kung gusto nato ang kabag-uhan sa atong nasod. Walay tinuod nga tingog ang mga mamumuo gawas sa mga tao nga gikan sa pamuo. Ang mamumuo karon, ang mga mag-uuma, kauban ang mga estudyante sa University of San Carlos, dapat magkahiusa nga agenda naman sa mga mamumuo o mag-uuma ang atong dalhon sa Senado. Power to the workers, power to the farmers naman sa umaabot nga Mayo 13, 2019. Attorney Sani Matula, Presidente sa Federation of Free Workers, of Chairperson sa Nagkaisa Labor Coalition. Mayong hapon kaninyong tanan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, kung yung SM, we've got it all ang slogan, ako as a journalist, I've seen it all. Corruption, kahirapan, malnutrition, kawalan ng education, problems about cultural problems, cultural issues, at maraming iba pa. So, ang nakikita ko dito ay gagamitin ko yung experience ko as a journalist para isulong yung mga batas na nararapat para sa mga Pilipino. And specifically, to address the issue ng kahirapan sa Pilipinas, number 1 is to strengthen Philippine agriculture. Huwag na tayo mag-import. Huwag na tayong bumili ng galunggong sa China. Huwag na tayong bumiling chicken sa abroad. At pag nagkaroon ng problema naman doon, kinakabahan din tayo mga Pilipino kasi may bird flu, may swine flu, at maraming iba pang issue. Dapat i-develop natin yung sariling atin, develop natin yung sarili nating technology. We have to invest in our own research and technology para mabuhay yung ekonomiya natin. 2 to 4% GDP. 2 to 4% investment sa GDP natin would be good para sa research and development. Para ma-develop yung our own companies, magkaroon ng trabaho yung mga fresh grads. Kasi yung parating problema dyan, walang trabaho. Dito papasok yon, ma-develop ang industries, magkakaroon tayo ng trabaho. Di ko kayo bobolahin, sa reporter, nandun lang tayo sa paglalatag ng totoo. Nandun lang tayo sa paglalatag ng katotohanan. Pero, literally, nasa kamay natin yung ating future. Pagdasal natin, yung iboboto natin, mag-isip tayo sa pagboto. Huwag tayong bumoto kasi may name recall. Huwag tayong bumoto kasi sikat. Huwag tayong bumoto kasi nakasanayan na natin na sinabi ng nanay natin. Bumoto tayo based sa platform, tama to, makinig tayo sa mga ganito, manood tayo ng mga debates, manood tayo ng mga forum, para naintindihan natin kung sino talaga yung kandidatong nag-a-attend at sino talaga yung nag-i-engage sa kapwa niya kandidato or sa publiko. Diba? So, pumili kayo ng tama, yun ang payo ko sa inyo mga estudyante, pumili kayo ng tama, payo ko sa inyo mga kababayan na nanonood online, pumili kayo ng tamang kandidato na magse-serve ng interest ng pinakamahihirap. Hindi yung mayaman na. Yung pinakamahihirap, yun yung iaangat natin. Because yun yung talagang nahihirapan at minsan hindi na kumakain. Once a day kung kumain, kung walang bigas, sorry na lang. So ito yung i-address natin, food production, food security, at isang tapat na paglilingkod sa mamamayan. Salamat po.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so at this point now,
Carol?
Sir Art, we're going to be showing them. Basically, we have somebody at the back headed by Eileen Manggubat taking down the different points that our candidates have said that they would do when they become senators. So may we see it now so we could just confirm it kung tama ba. Sir Jiggy, you just have to say if you agree to that. So food security, address hunger, strengthen the agricultural sector.
You can move, Sir Jiggy.
The Cebu model of farmer scientist training. And then, of course, solve traffic, proper zoning, land use, the right infrastructure, support electoral reform. Current climate favors the rich. Yes to federalism, but with term limits. No to same-sex marriage, civil union instead. No to legalization of marijuana. Remove fuel tax in train law. Invest 2 to 4% of GDP in research and development. On Duterte's threats and curses, every leader has his own style. You can correct if it's not right. Huh? Yes to lowering age of criminal liability to 12 to 13. Yes to death penalty for plunder and heinous crimes. No to political dynasties. And Mega Cebu Authority Bill, yes, and you will monitor its progress. Everything's captured? Thank you very much. Thank you.
A round of applause for Sir Jiggy Manicad.
Sir, can somebody hand me the bugsay? Because you said yes, your commitment is to sign
Your commitment
the bugsay.
is in the bugsay.
Can you just put the bugsay on the podium na lang? So they can sign there. Next, while he's signing, can we read the yung na-capture of the next? Okay, for Sani Matula, would you like to read, Sir Art?
Yes,
Sir
for
Art?
Sani Matula, Labor Party, senatorial candidate. The agenda. Stop contractualization. Next is protect the right of workers to organize. SSS benefits. Yes to a national wage. Yes to federal parliamentary reform, but no to charter change in current proposals. No to same-sex marriage. Yes to medical use of marijuana. Train sin tax increase. Yes to entry of Chinese labor if they are legal aliens. No to lowering the age of criminal liability. No to political dynasties. Yes to public on private partnerships of Mega Cebu. Attorney Sani?
So yung Chinese labor, so mali yan, sir. He prefers Filipino workers, pero wala kang anything against. Well, I think what you mean there is you have nothing against Chinese as long as they are legal.
If they
Pero
are legal
preference
aliens,
mo is Filipino.
But more of preference of Filipino workers.
Okay, let's just correct this. Okay, so but other than that, sir, everything's fine. I think.
But on the last, yes to private partnership.
Yes, but emphasizing on labor representation. Correct, sir? They will change that with emphasis on labor
representation.
Okay, so Sir Sani, can you just go up there and sign the bugsay? Next.
Carol, the next one?
Yes,
the last
for
one?
Alan Montaño of Labor Party also. So, adopt a national wage instead of regional. Stop labor contractualization or the ENDO. Strengthen agriculture and industry. Solve traffic. Ban private cars in EDSA during AM peak flow. So I wonder how this would be in Cebu. Unsa may ibani mo diri, sir? Ban private cars in Natalio Bacalso Highway? Wherever that is, okay?
Whatever.
No, wherever there's traffic siguro, no? No to Gloria Arroyo's Chacha. Set up an OFW investment fund. No to same-sex marriage. Yes to medical marijuana. Yes to train law but not excise fuel tax. Entry of Chinese labor, you need to investigate further. Yes to death penalty for plunder and heinous crimes. Metro Cebu Development Authority bill, government should control the traffic, transportation, water, and sewage. Correct, sir?
I wanted to be clarified.
Yes, sir.
One, on train law. Not necessary, yes, I'm in favor of train law. Not saying not, but we have to review the imposition of excise tax on fuel. A review, because we may not have enough fund for universal healthcare, free education, build program. So, let's see. What I'm saying is, kung justified talaga yan, kailangan yan, yes, I might still favor that. But there is a need to study, to review, and study carefully the imposition of excise tax on fuel.
Okay.
So not outright saying not in favor of it.
Okay.
Ako lang ang may dangerous na position dyan.
Okay, so yes to train law, except that there is a need to review.
And study
And
carefully
study.
the imposition of
Excise.
excise tax on fuel products.
Okay.
Excise fuel.
Aside from that, sir, everything's okay?
And then on death penalty, let's clarify it. Plunder sa reduced amount na 10 million, death penalty. Then
10
on drugs,
million up.
only on manufacturing and distribution. And third, on those found guilty of complex crimes involving loss of lives.
All right. Again,
Complex
so
crimes,
atong
So,
i-add din ha, sir, no? So,
So, yun lang.
what's missing there is on drugs, it's the manufacturers and the distributors.
Yes.
Okay, and then for the complex
Heinous
crimes,
Complex crimes involving loss of lives.
involving loss,
The loss of life.
And ang plunder is 10 million,
10 million.
and above.
Yeah.
What
10
if it's 10 million and 1?
Appeal na yun. Appeal na yun.
Appeal na
10
siya.
million, pagka 10 million na
Above.
exact.
Gamay lang kuwang ba?
Death
Gamay lang
penalty pa
sobra.
rin.
Okay.
Lalo na may gamay yung sobra.
Oh, gamay sobra. Okay. Basta kay 10 million and up. All right. So, let's give them a big hand.
A round of applause to all our three
And-
candidates.
Can we request our candidates here in front for a photo opportunity? And I'm also inviting the person who wrote the question of Sir Jiggy. You can also have your picture here with him.
You have
Okay. Let's put Jose Sani Matula in his name. Naxi, you have some... okay.
okay.
Yes, can we hold this? Okay, so while nag-post of picture taking diri sila, sir,
I'll make the
like that, sir.
announcement.
Okay, so mag-a-announce na si...
Okay, thank you. So let's give a big round of applause to our three senatorial candidates who honored their confirmation to attending this forum today. So, of course, Mr. Jiggy Manicad, Mr. Sani Matula, Mr. Alan Montaño, who really came here, confirmed, and showed up during this forum. Next session is March 18, that's Monday, but it will be in Butterbrook Hall, also in USC. Mr. Butch Valdez, Mr. Danilo Roleda, Attorney Larry Gadon, and possibly Governor Aimee Marcos. On March 22, this will be for the party list. Ang NARS, Ako Bisdak, Ako Bisaya, Magdalo, and Akbayan, and 1AAA-P. For March 25, Mr. Erin Tanyada, Attorney Chel Jokno, Attorney Hilo Hilbay, and Mr. Danilo Roleda, Independent. In April, we will all have local candidates from the province down to cities and municipalities. Please stay tuned. Watch the FB of Mega Cebu Candidates Forum for the recording of this forum. It's also aired on MyTV Channel 30 every Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 12 noon to 1:45. In fact, this show today will be shown on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So they have a lot of exposure. Thank you once again to our candidates who honored their word in coming to Cebu.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you again on Monday. Thank you.